Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika Zen. I am Tamika, and this is what you should be watching. Okay. So, guys, this is what you should be watching, and this is the Denzel Washington edition. Okay. All things Denzel Washington we are getting into today. He is one of my favorite actors. His discography, filmography is crazy long. Okay. He has been making movies since the 70s, or started acting since the 70s, got more recognized and known in the 80s. And I don't think he took even maybe 1 year off here and there. Between the 90s and 2000s, he literally had a movie that came out every year. Now, I was shocked when I was trying to look up to see how many films he was in. They have him in 62 films. For some reason, I feel like that number is supposed to be higher, okay? But we gonna go ahead and go with it. You know, he has played in dramas, comedies, thrillers, crimes, mystery, romance, biography, war. I think the only kind of movies he haven't done is horror, unless you want to count Fallen, and I don't think Fallen really falls into horror. I think that's more thriller, but that's one of my faves. You know, he's had over 208 nominations. Of course, he only has won 2 Oscars, which we still don't understand. All right, he has 85 wins of other awards, and he has also produced 14 movies and directed 5. So this is my list today, y'all. We are getting into it, okay? Shining a light and giving flowers to Mr. Denzel Washington. So coming in at number 1, we have Mighty Quinn, okay? You ain't seen nothing like the Mighty Quinn. All right, I know I'm off beat. 1989, this movie came out, and he played Police Chief Xavier Quinn. You know, he was investigating this gruesome murder of Donald Peter, one of the richest and wealthiest residents of the Caribbean island. We also have Cheryl Lee Ralph and Robert Townsend in that one, okay? That is Mighty Quinn coming in at number 1. Number 2, we are going to go with Ricochet. This came out in 1991, and we had Denzel Washington and John Lithgow. Now, in this one, you know, John Lithgow was playing a crazy psychotic man, okay? And Denzel was basically playing Officer Nick Stiles, who was tracking him down, all right? And after he arrested him, you know, he was a psychotic hitman or whatever. And, you know, Denzel, Nick Stiles, is this rookie Los Angeles cop. He makes this arrest, and he puts Stiles away and basically is held a hero. But several years later, Stiles' life appears to be perfect. However, his world gets turned upside down once we have, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Earl Talbot escape prison. And, you know, basically he plans to extract brutal, okay, and well-calculated revenge against Nick Stiles. And that is Ricochet coming in at number 2. Number 3, we have Crimson Tide. This was with Denzel Washington and Gene Hackman, okay, 1995. And so after the Cold War, you know, it was a breakaway Russian republic with nuclear warheads. And then, you know, seemed like it could become a worldwide threat. And so they basically have the U.S. submarine captain Frank Ramsey, who was played by, you know, Gene Hackman. He goes in and signs on a relatively green light, right? And highly recommends that Lieutenant Commander Ron Hunter, who was Denzel, should, you know, use any means to stop this possible Armageddon. But of course, it ends up being more to the story, and that is Crimson Tide coming in at number 3. Number 4, we're gonna go with one of my faves, Devil in a Blue Dress. Okay, this came out in 1995 as well. Okay, like I said, sometimes he would have 2 movies coming out in that year, and this was Denzel and Don Cheadle, and this is one of my favorite characters that Don Cheadle has played, Mouse, inside the Devil in a Blue House. Blue dress, y'all. I don't know why my words is getting tongue-tied. So in the late 1940s, Los Angeles, Easy Rollins basically comes, you know, has this person come in because he's unemployed, you know what I'm saying, is after World War II. He's a veteran that has few job prospects, right? So he has this, you know what I'm saying, Dwight Albright come in, who is a mysterious white man, basically looking for his missing white wife that done, you know what I'm saying, up and disappeared on him. And he wants him to find out what happened to her. And all we know is that her name is Daphne, and she seems to be hanging out in these jazz clubs or whatever. So he's thinking this is just going to be an easy job, but comes to find out, Easy might have found himself, you know what I'm saying, in over his head, all right? And that is Devil in a Blue Dress at number 4. Moving on along, we get Bone Collector at number 5, right? This one came out in 1990. We had Denzel Washington, Queen Latifah, and Angela Jolie. So now Angela Jolie is playing policewoman Amelia Dahoney, right? And she's basically in pursuit of the serial killer who has a calling card where he leaves small shards of bones, you know what I'm saying, from each one of his victims. And she's unable to decipher the clues. So she go ahead and calls in, you know what I'm saying, some help from a quadriplegic forensic criminal psychologist, okay, expert, and that is Lincoln Rom, who is played by Denzel. She needs his help, okay, to find out what the heck is going on and how to find this killer. Number 6, we get Remember the Titans. This was made in 2000 now, or it came out in 2000, right? And this was basically a Virginia high school team that, you know, football was a way of life, you know what I'm saying? They say it was celebrated more than Christmas. It's like American Pie and all of that kind of stuff, right? And so this local school board was basically forced to integrate the black school with the white school, honey. And then, you know what I'm saying, the football tradition is put to the test. And that's the synopsis, you know what I'm saying, a nice way of putting it. But we all know how this went down, right? And number 7, we have Training Day. Okay, of course, this came out in 2001. And this is when he played, you know what I'm saying, in this drama as a veteran officer who escorts a rookie cop on his first day with the LAPD's tough inner city narcotics unit, all right? And Training Day is an action drama that asks us to decide what is necessary, what is heroic, and what crosses the line. And of course, we know in this, Denzel was crossing the line, up, down, in and out, okay, honey? And that is the one that he ended up winning the Oscar for, of course, right? And number 8, we have Antoine Fisher. Now, this came out in 2002, and this is a story of a sailor, okay, played by Derek Luke, who is prone to violent outbursts, all right? He is sent to the naval psychiatrist Denzel Washington for help, and through the guidance of his doctor, he basically begins to confront his painful past, and he begins a quest to find his family he never knew, y'all, all right? So that is number 8, Antoine Fisher. Now we have number 9, John Q. This was an all-star cast, right, including Denzel Washington. We had Denzel Washington, James Woods, Robert Duvall, Kimberly Elise, Eddie Griffin, and Ray Liotta. And this is a story of a man whose 9-year-old son is in need of a life-saving transplant, right? And he discovers that his medical insurance is not going to cover the cost, honey. So he takes the hospital emergency room by hostage, okay, as a last attempt to save his child's life. And that is number 9, John Q. Number 10, we are going to go to Out of Time. This came out in 2003, and this is when he plays Matt Lee Whitlock, okay? And he is a police chief of a small Florida town, all right? And he's going through a divorce with his detective wife, Alex, who's played by Eva Mendes. And he begins an affair with Ann, which is played by Miss Sanaa Lathan. But, you know, he found out that Ann, you know what I'm saying, has cancer and she's dying. So he's basically steals money in order to pay for, you know what I'm saying, Ann's treatment. But all of a sudden, Ann dies a mysterious death, y'all, in a fire, okay, supposedly. And the money disappears and all the clues point to Matt or whatever the case may be as the culprit, honey. And that is number 10, Out of Time. Then moving on to number 11, we get Man on Fire, another one of my faves, okay? He did his thing in this. This came out in 2004, and this is when he is in Mexico City. He is basically, you know, racked by a recent wave of kidnappings. You know, he's an ex-CIA operative, right, John Creasy, and he is a bodyguard of the 9-year-old girl, Lupita, who is played by Dakota Fanning, all right, the daughter of a wealthy businessman, Samuel Ramos, who is played by Mark Anthony. And so a bloodthirsty gunman comes and kidnaps little Lupita, y'all, okay, and he's not having that. Now Creasy has to go out here and pick off corrupt cops and criminals and reach his ultimate object of revenge, because he not trying to play these games out here, all right? And that is Man on Fire. That is number 11. Number 12, we are going to go with Inside Man. Inside Man came out in 2006. This is when he played a tough detective that, you know what I'm saying, matches wits with cunning big robber Clive Owen, okay? This is a tense hostage situation, y'all, that is unfolding. And in comes a woman named Madeline, who is Jodie Foster, okay, my other fave. I love her. Been rocking with her since The Accused. But nonetheless, you know, a mysterious power broker with a hidden agenda and threatens to push a tense situation past the breaking point, okay? And so then we move on along and we go to number 13, Deja Vu. This came out in 2006. And you had this team of top secret program, you know, ATF agent Doug Carmen, who is Denzel, basically is brought into the midst in order for him to capture this terrorist responsible for a ferry bombing that left hundreds dead, right? And they have this new technology, this team, right, that folds time back 4 days backwards, right? And so they see the madman's movements, and Doug realizes that he may be able to go back in time and prevent the crime from happening. And that is Deja Vu coming in at number 13. Number 14, we have The Great Debaters. This came out in 2007, y'all. All right. And we have a poet and professor, Melvin B. Thompson, who, of course, is Denzel Washington. He's teaching a predominantly black Wiley College in 1935 in Texas, right? And he starts a debate team, something not heard of in black colleges at the time, right? And so while at first he butts heads with his father, who was played by Forrest Whitaker, one of his best debaters is able to form a team, and they become the first black debate team to challenge Harvard prestigious debate champions. And of course, that is again The Great Debaters coming in at number 14. Now, number 15, honey, American Gangster. This came out in 2007. So we have a Harlem drug dealer, right, Frank Lucas, on the rise to power and corruption in the 1970s New York, right? Equaling and surpassing most of the mother mafia families within reach of his empire. Lucas acts on impunity, smuggling and heroin in the U.S. using coffins of soldiers that have been killed. A cop, Richie Roberts, is basically dedicating himself to taking him down because he looks at him as the most, you know what I'm saying, dangerous man walking these streets, all right? Number 16, we are going with Pelham 123. This came out in 2009. And so chaos reigns in NYC subway when a heavily armed criminal led by Ryder, who is John Travolta, all right, is basically hijacking this subway train, right? And they threaten to kill everyone unless a ransom is paid. And dispatcher Walter Garber, who is of course Denzel, uses his knowledge of the subway station to save the hostages and tries to figure out, you know, even if they got the money, how the heck would they get out? And that is Pelham 123, y'all, coming in at number 16. Number 17, we have Book of Eli, right? And so 30 years after the war turned the world into a wasteland, a lone warrior named Eli, of course it's Denzel, marches across the ruined landscape carrying hope for humanity and redemption, right? And one of the men understand the power that Eli is carrying, okay? And he wants it for himself. But Eli prefers peace. But honey, he will risk it all to protect this precious cargo and help restore mankind. And that is the Book of Eli coming in at number 17. Now, ease on down the road, right? We get to number 18, which is Safe House. This came out in 2012. And so this is basically where, you know, for the past year, this rookie CIA agent, Matt Weston, who was played by Ryan Reynolds, has been eager to prove himself, and he finally gets the chance when Tobin Frost, who's played by Denzel, is basically a turncoat operative that's brought into Weston's safe house for debriefing, right? And these two men must join forces to try to stay alive long enough to figure out who wants them dead, because everything goes crazy after that, right? And so that is number 18, Safe House. Number 19 is Magnificent Seven. This came out in 2016, and this basically is, you know, when these people are looking for a mind to go, right? We have this man named Bogue who comes and sees control of the whole town of Rose Creek, and Emma Cullen and some of the residents turn to a bounty hunter named Sam Chisholm, of course, who's Denzel, and they recruit him to help, you know what I'm saying, them out from these people that got them held hostage. And then Denzel comes in and he basically organizes a group that he wants to help him, hence the Magnificent Seven, because of the 7 of them. And honey, every time I would hear them call him Mr. Chisholm, I'd be like, ah, shoot, okay, because my last name is Chisholm. But yeah, anyway, that is number 19, Magnificent Seven. coming in. All right, number 20, we gonna end it off with Equalizer, honey. We of course had number 1 in 2014, number 2 in 2018, and this is when Denzel was playing Robert McCall. He is a man of mystery who has returned, you know what I'm saying, retired and lives a quiet life, but he comes out of retirement and emerges as an avenging angel, honey, when he starts seeing people getting messed with that he just don't feel like, you know what I'm saying, should be messed with. He like, nah, y'all doing too much, okay? So he does step up and try to help these people. And we're going to end it with that. But just in case y'all are wondering and y'all saying, you know, what is going on here, she done left out More Better Blues. She done left out Fallen. She done left out Glory. She done left out, you know, A Soldier Story, Malcolm X, The Preacher's Wife. No, I did not, honey, okay? The reason why I did not say those ones is because they all have been on my previous What You Should Be Watching, okay? They have been, first of all, A Preacher's Wife was a part of my holiday What You Should Be Watching. And I used some of these other ones inside of my Black History Month, and I'm sure probably some other ones or whatever, What You Should Be Watching, right? Because I love me some Denzel, so I have talked about these movies before, and that's the only reason why they were not on this list, but they are definitely not forgotten, okay? Mo Better, Mo Better, Mo Better, okay? It's definitely one of my faves. Like I mentioned when I first started this video, I could watch Fallen, I don't care how many times, you know, some of these are definitely classics favorites. Of course, when he played Malcolm X, there's nothing else like it in my opinion. And so definitely didn't forget those at all, okay? So that is the list for today. Those are going to be my honorable mentions, you know, More Better Blues, Fallen, Glory, Soldier Story, Malcolm X, and Preacher's Wife, of course. And, you know, there's no right or wrong time to watch a Denzel movie, okay? That's all I got to say. So, you know, let me know what's your favorite Denzel Washington movie. Also, let me know what you are watching so I could go ahead and get into it, guys. All right, I ask you guys this all the time. I'm always looking for stuff to watch, so don't be shy. Put it in the comments. Let me know. Let me know if you have watched anything that has been off of my list. You know, have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself. Watch a good movie and stay safe. And like, comment, share, subscribe if you are so inclined. Till next time, toodaloo.